This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2017 Keystone Sprinter fifth wheel. It's model 357 FW LFT. Alright, I'm on the door side of the trailer and I'm walking towards the rear of the trailer right here. So this particular trailer has a automatic leveling system on it. We'll talk more about that when I get up front and on the other side where the controls are. We have a power awning, of course, with LED strip. This is your water heater here. The switches to operate it are inside. Now never, let me open it here. This one also has a second switch for the power, which is right down here in the lower left-hand corner. There's a heating element, electric heating element behind this cover right here. So keep in mind you have to turn that switch on for that electric element to power up. Never drain it or vent it when the water is hot because you don't want to scald yourself or worse. Come on now, go back on there. It came off. Let me look down here so I can see what I'm doing here. There we go. Okay, sorry about my camera work there. Okay, and you have a pass-through basement, and there's stuff that came with it. I'm told that you want the stuff, so there it all is, and there's more in the front, I believe, too. Okay. This is more stuff, plus your battery is in here. Your powered landing gear, obviously the apparatus is in here. This is just if you wanted to add a solar battery panel to charge your battery, or a solar panel to charge your battery. You could plug it in right here. This particular one is made by Lippert. You got two 30-pound tanks right here. Okay. And right here is the control for your power stabilizer. So you need to turn it on, of course. You get a digital readout here where you can push auto level and it'll level. You can retract it this way. You can scroll through your LED or screen here. You can drop the front jacks. You can auto connect. You can basically it'll remember the last hitch height that you use. So when you retract the stabilizers, it'll return you to the previous hitch height. You can do them manually and use each button to retract them, so on and so forth. Enter to auto retract all. You would just push enter. So you can do all that. You can do the rear. Basically, let me just shut this off here. So all that can be done, obviously. Now these are the directions right here on this door, and you can always refer to them. They're right here. But it's pretty straightforward. It likes to have a fully charged battery. Keep that in mind. If it ever faults, almost always it's because your battery isn't totally charged. So keep that in mind just for future reference. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Just more of the pass-through storage. This is your, I hope this is, oh it is good. This is where you get your water from here for the trailer. Okay, so you have a hot and cold water, and a sprayer can connect right there, of course. Your fresh water, your city water, hooks right here. So when your blue valve handle is in the vertical positions, you can see from this drawing that's regular city water. So you just hook your hose up there, turn it on. Everything in the trailer works when it comes to the plumbing. If you have to pre-fill your fresh water tank because where you're camping does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can change the position of it to this, and this will fill your fresh water tank. And then you can use the onboard pump to pump it, of course. These are just cable and satellite through to the inside. This is a black tank flush here. So after you dump your black tank, you can leave the gate valve open, the tank dump valve open, put your hose on here and turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of your black tank out. So it'll clean it off really well. It'll clean out your sensors, that sort of thing. All right, so let me look down here so we can find the controls for this here. Hold on one second while I look around. Okay, well, this could be an important clue right here. What's in here? All right. I guess I should have looked ahead of time. I guess I'm going to actually have to get down on my hands and knees here. Oh, there they are. Okay. I just want to show you that this is a propane quick connect right here, if you can see that. So you can connect a grill or a griddle or whatever you got. That it just has to run on LP gas, and it has to be a low pressure system. That's all. All right, so here we go. Here are your valves. You see you got your gray valve, your black valve. There's a second, let me see what else we got here. A second gray valve down there, if you see it. That white one there is for a quick dump for your fresh water tank. If you're leaving and you didn't use up all your fresh water in the tank, you can just pull that gate valve and dump it. So there you have it right there. Always, you know, your hose goes on here obviously, but you always dump the black tank first, because that's toilet water and waste. And then you'll dump the gray second, just because it's sink and shower water. It's cleaner water than the black water, so it'll help you clean out your hose. Then, like I said, you leave the black valve open and you hook your hose up to the tank flush right there, and it'll flush out your black tank really well. Okay. Okay. Back on my feet. Okay, so moving towards the rear, this is a service panel for your refrigerator. You always want this hose hanging out here, because that's for condensation that's generated by the refrigerator. You have a 50 amp service, and you get a reducer with it, which you see right there. So you got your 50 amp power cord. You got a ladder, so you can go up on the roof and inspect it. So every 90 days or 3 times a season, the spring, the middle of the summer, and the fall, you go up on the roof, you look at all the sealant on the roof, you check for cracking or separation or damage of any kind, and if you do find it, when you find it, you get it taken care of immediately, okay? That's very important to inspect your roof. Also, you have a backup camera there. All right. Now the backup camera will activate when you turn on your headlights or your running lights. So that's how it receives the signal to activate. So you just manually turn your headlights on. Now, you can't just have it on auto, you know, like most people do these days. I know I do. I keep mine on auto, so they come on automatically. Generally speaking, you have to physically turn the knob to the on position in order to get it to work. Okay, so let's go inside here. We're still working on it and cleaning it up here, so let me shut the door here. Keep the cooling and the heat out. I'll walk back here and turn down the radio. Okay. Did you shut that down?
Yeah, I turned it down.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Okay, so you have a touch panel here. It's going to be 4 zeros, I believe, for your code. There you go. And here you got lights, your leveler, your awning, your first slide out. Slide out number 1, I should say. Slide out number 2, 3. I think this one might only. Oh no, it has another one there. So it does have 4. So you got all 4 slide outs. You can operate from here. Okay. Then, if you come up here, you've got a more standard looking analog type switches on this one here. And you have the same thing here. Power awning and that. Sorry. And the slide out switches. To turn your water pump on, for if you're pumping water out of the tank, or you're winterizing for that matter, you'll just do that, of course. To turn on electric or gas, right here and here, you operate those switches from here. Remember, I told you there's a second electric switch on the water heater in the lower left-hand corner. Okay. Now you always want to make sure there's water in the tank before you turn it on. No matter which energy source you use, you got to make sure there's water in there. You can't dry fire it. Okay. When you retract your awning, obviously it goes out 8 feet. You'll see the awning tube when it's completely extended. Just remember, you can't leave it out when you're not at the, well, you can, but you should not leave it out when you're not at the campsite, because the wind can damage it very quickly. So generally, if you're not there, you just roll it in. All you have to do is push a button, so it's simple. You check your levels here. Your fresh water is still full, but they're water testing it. Battery's charged, but always check it when you're not plugged in. Gray and black tank. Does this have 2 bathrooms in it, or just 1?
Just the 1.
Okay, so you would just pay attention to the first black tank here, empty, gray tank empty, and I believe you would use gray tank number 2, which, yeah, because that's got water in it, because we're still working on it. So keep in mind, this is a standard panel, so you just have to know which You know, you don't all of these buttons are not in use. So you only have, like I said, one black tank because there's only one toilet in here, unless I discover another one somewhere. So your thermostat is simple. You just light it up by pushing mode, and that's air conditioner auto or cool auto. You always want to run everything on auto if you can. Heat off, fan. You always want to go to fan auto. The fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. Okay. Then you would go cool auto. Go back to where we started from. So always try to. You can set the fan speed, but it's better if you just run it on auto. Not absolutely necessary positively, but it's a good rule of thumb. So your sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. The thing to know with the toilet is, like any RV toilet, you have to have water and chemical in the black tank before you use it. So, whoops, so there's a pedal right there. So you just basically, when you plug in your trailer, you hook up the water, you'll come in here, and whichever chemical you use, whichever brand, you'll just put a dose right there in the toilet bowl. Read the directions to find out what a dose is with your product. Then you'll step on this and hold it. You're going to hold it till about a gallon of water goes into the black tank. There's no way to tell exactly what a gallon of water is. I mean, how long you should stand on it. So just use common sense. It doesn't have to be exact. The bottom line is you just want to have chemical and water in the black tank when you start using it. If not, you'll regret it, and you'll only do it once. The smell is terrible. Plus, it can harden, and you have to literally you have to throw dynamite in there to get it out. Dynamite and 2 hand grenades. So seriously though, sometimes you'd have to actually chisel it out. So you always want water and chemical before you start using it. Okay, forget what I said about the dynamite and the hand grenade. The way things are today, who knows if people take me seriously. Okay, so you got a second air conditioner up here. That's why you have a 50 amp system. It's freezing cold in here. It's great. I mean, not literally. It's great. I'm in and out of trailers in the heat all day. I believe me, I've learned to appreciate air conditioning more than ever. But your controls are on this unit here, so these are separate from the controls that I just showed you. So you'll set this from the ceiling assembly right here. And of course, you know the bedroom is pretty self-explanatory. You got a wardrobe, and then you got storage. You got TV hookup here, antenna and cable. It looks like, and power. You can set a TV right here, and I'm sure there's a backing plate here also if you wanted to put a bracket there. Sorry about my camera work. The thing about this camera, it's a great little camera. It was cheap, and for what it costs, it does a great thing, except there's no wide angle to it. So I would like to get a wider picture. I'm told there's a screw-on lens you can get for just under $20, and it will give me more. You'll be able to see more when I'm up close, because operating it myself, obviously, I'm always up close to everything. I can't keep running back and forth. I could, but I'm not going to. So, anyway, there's storage under your bed here. Kind of a foot locker situation. All right, let's go back the other way. Okay, so you have a loft. Kids love the loft. Grandkids love the loft. And you have cable and TV, or satellite and TV, whatever they're calling it. Keep in mind, this is the signal booster here. You could shut it off, but you always want it on like that, or you'll get a lousy picture. So you've got power and a place to hook up a TV up here, which is good, and as well as a ladder here too. Okay, so also you've got another room here, which is kind of neat. And of course the same TV hookups. I'm sure there's a backer here too. I can feel it right there. This should jackknife flat, I believe, or it actually might fold out. Yeah, actually it's a trifold. So you can fold this out and turn it right into a bed, and it's a decent sized bed. And it's also foam. It's not just like the olden days where you had that mattress and the springs and the bar where your back and all that. It's actually many times better than it used to be. So you've got that. It's a whole extra bedroom. Okay, and here we are in the main living area. Let's see where I start at here. Let me look up. So you have a power vent here, so that means there's a remote control around here somewhere. Let's see if we can find it. I might have walked past it already. Oh, I did. So it's way back here. Oh, no, that's not it. Let me walk back here. Let's see if I can actually find the darn thing. Okay, great. Dead silence as he looks around, trying to find where the remote is for this. I'm sure it has one, but maybe I spoke too quick, maybe it doesn't. Well, I'm going to, as I do this tour, this walkthrough, I'm going to keep my eyes open for it. I'm not sure. Is it from here maybe? Let's see. 4 zeros, level or light, awning. 1, 2, 3, 4, nope. Okay. Well, maybe it does not, but I'll look into it now. Oh, I see it. Here we go. Nothing like looking over your product before you do a video, huh? This is it right here. So it's powered, so you're just going to turn it on. You can see it opening up and turning on. It looks like it's got a built-in rain sensor. I believe that's what that umbrella is telling us. Of course, don't take my word for it. It took me 20 minutes to find the switch for it. So, okay. So you got off. You can your fan speeds and all that. So, there you go. Should be closing now, or maybe not. Oh, this button here. There we go. So there we go. Okay. So, this GFCI here, keep in mind all the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. This trailer I'm sure has 2. There's probably one up in the bedroom plus this one. So even if you're using a plug up outside and it pops, you're using a coffee pot or something, it's going to be one of the interior GFCIs here to reset, alright? This down here, this device here is your power converter. It converts 110 AC down to 12 volt DC or over to 12 volt DC. Alright, so if I open it up here, you can see you got regular household circuit breakers here. And they're all labeled. That's 110 AC. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. You got 12 volt fuses here and they're labeled. So that's where the 12 volt power comes from. This will also is a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged in, it's gonna sense how much energy your battery up front needs, and it's gonna keep it charged up. So your tow vehicle will charge the battery when you're pulling it, and this power converter will charge it when you're plugged in. So if any of these fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up. Let me do it this way. You light up, and you'll actually see them lit up or glowing through this tinted plastic here. So if you see some light in there, you know you popped a fuse. And like I said, it's a battery tender also. There's a fan that'll come on and off. You'll hear it, just a very slight fan noise sometimes. When there's a load put on it, it'll sometimes kick on to cool down. Alrighty, so your range, I assume the gas is on. If not, I'll just talk you through it. But it's very simple. It works like all they all do. You spark it by turning the sparker clockwise. So you just light it, like you just see right there, it just lit, just by turning this clockwise, okay? Now the oven is a little different. Looks like this one has maybe been used once or twice, if that, or maybe never at all. But you see this all the time. Back at the very back there on the bottom, you see there's a pilot light. So you have to light that with a grill lighter, you know, just a lighter with a long neck on it. And all you do is you go to the oven knob, you go to pilot, right? Then you depress it and hold it. Whoops. Depress it and hold it. You keep holding it in, you spark this till it lights. After it lights, you hold it for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up. Then you go to operating temperature and it cycles like an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to light the pilot light each time you use the oven. Alright, this is a range hood, or this is the range hood, and this is the fan to vent it, and this is your light, obviously, your cooking light. The microwave works like any other microwave. The refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator, so that means it runs on LP gas or 110 AC. So what you do is this is on and off, this button, there's only 2 buttons. Turn it on. That is electricity right there. It's called auto. The reason they call it auto is because it automatically seeks out 110 AC electricity, right? So it wants that current, so it'll seek it out. If it can't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas. Or better yet, if you leave early in the morning to go adventuring for the day, and an hour after you leave, the campground power goes out, it'll sense that and it'll automatically switch the refrigerator over to gas so you don't spoil your food. So you want to put it on auto. Now you can put it on dedicated to gas just by going like this, but even if you don't, if it can't find AC power, it will switch to gas, okay? All right, and yes, you can run this driving down the road on gas. Now this is the thermistor right here. This is how you set the temperature. It's supposed to actually be in this clip right now, which of course it's not. I'm going to have to set the camera down for a second here, so bear with me please. I'm sticking the thermistor back into the clip. It just floats freely in there, so it's not, well, let me do it this way, into the clip like this. So it just floats freely. Oh my goodness sakes. Go back the way I had it. And then you clip it onto this fin right here. Okay. Alright, hopefully you could see that. If not, I'll just tell you what I just did. So you can see I've put the thermistor in this clip. Then you push it up as high as you can get it. You push it up till this wire is taut. Right? As you can see from the sticker, the higher you go with it, the colder the refrigerator is, the lower the warmer. So you basically want it up all the way. If it gets cold out and starts to frost up, then you can back it down. But generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way. Okay, that's the thermistor, and that's how you set the temperature. All right. So the fireplace runs on 110 AC, and it's a space heater. So you can adjust the appearance of the flame. Right? You can set the fan speed off low and high, so it kicks out heat pretty good on high. You can set a timer, you can set the temperature, that sort of thing, so it does all that sort of thing. It runs on 110 AC, so you can you know, if you have obviously you have limited LP, so when you're sitting around in here and it's getting cool outside, or it's cool in the morning or late at night, whatever, you can just kick it on and it'll keep you warm in here without using up your LP. Okay, your sound bar, let me look at it here up close. Okay, so you can stream off a USB with it, so you can put all your albums onto one USB drive and take them with you, all your favorite albums. Let me see what else we've got here. Okay, it has Bluetooth, so you can hook up wirelessly with it, with your phone or tablet and stream from it. It has speaker zones. Here it shows 4, but there are probably only 3 used. You'll have to experiment with it a bit, but A is probably this room, B is probably the bedroom, maybe C is the middle room, I'm not sure, and either C or D will be outside. So it for sure has 3 zones, maybe 4, but that's how you select it right there. Okay, the TV obviously works like any other TV. This couch here folds into another hide-a-bed, and it's foam. So basically you just remove the back, set it aside, then you're going to grab it down here and pull it out, fold the legs down, flip the back into place, and you've got a foam bed there. Of course, you've got theater recliner seats here in front of your TV. Table. You'll want to tie the chairs down if you can. I don't know if this one has a strap with it. If not, just get one and you tie the inner legs all around the main post here. So if you do it that way, they'll still move around, but they won't fly around. If you were to hit a wild bump, it won't fly up and break something or anything like that. It just restrains them a bit. That's a good way to do it. Also, this down here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If it goes off, obviously you're going to take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, and figure out what's going on. Alright, so let me look around. I think we've covered everything. Yes, I believe we have. So, okay, thanks for purchasing your trailer at National RV Detroit. Remember what I told you about inspecting your roof every 90 days or 3 times a season. And of course this has to be winterized, so you're going to want to winterize it in the fall, and make sure you bypass your water heater and all the things you're supposed to do if you're going to do it yourself. You may know all this stuff, you may be more experienced than me, who knows. But the bottom line is it has to be winterized, so make sure it's done correctly, okay? Thank you.